Yeah, sure. So it's in the Heart Sutra. It depends what translation you get as well, but they say that in the Heart Sutra, consciousness too is illusion. So they go through all the senses that are illusion, and then they say consciousness is. And then they say that its form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. So, yeah, that is really confusing. So what do they mean by consciousness? So what they mean by consciousness is, I think what they mean is, you've got this ability to move your attention. So in this moment, you can move your attention onto your knee, you can move your attention onto your body, you can move your attention onto the cars driving past outside, and you can also move it onto thoughts. And it seems that you've got free will to move attention, that it's your free will to move it, but that's actually an illusion. But eventually what can happen is that the attention can separate out from the person, and you can recognize the personal consciousness as something separate from thoughts, feelings, the body, the sensations. And this is one part of awakening, and it's an important part of awakening. I think it's what Nisargadatta calls witnessing, like moving to witnessing, where the consciousness separates out from the person. And that might be happening for everybody on and off. Like sometimes consciousness is separating out, and sometimes it feels like you are conscious. So this happens. And then sometimes people think that that is the end, that that is awakening and that is the end. But that's not the end of the story, because it's still personalized. So consciousness cannot move. Like what you truly are is beyond that. And when you really begin to experience what we're calling now consciousness, you could also say that isn't consciousness. Like you could just take the name off it, because what's actually happening is there is this emptiness which is experiencing itself, but it's not separate from itself. It's experiencing this, and it's empty, but it's full simultaneously. So there is this emptiness at the source of our experience, and then there is this fullness which is in front, this, but it's not really in front, this life, this everythingness. And the everythingness is as empty, well, not, I can't even say as empty, but the emptiness is actually here in all the forms. And I can't really tell you how you see that, because it's not really you that sees it. It's that the illusion just begins to break, and then there is this deep going within, and it's seen for what it is. So you look at the room and you think that the room is appearing from time. So you're imagining the room coming from time, and you're imagining it coming from the past. Whereas when that begins to break, you'll see that the room is coming from nowhere. Not coming like appearing from nowhere, it is nowhere, and it is nothing. But I can't really describe that to you. And this is where you could say that you begin to give up consciousness, or the idea of consciousness, and then what you're left with is all there is everything and nothing, or fullness and emptiness simultaneously. That's knowing itself, but not knowing itself as a separation, knowing itself as itself, being itself. But these are like really complex ideas. Another way you could say it is like, as if you had a bag, and you had a light inside the bag, and then you put lots of holes in the bag. So you had one light, but with the bag over top of it, it looks like you've got 20 lights from all the holes. So as it shines through the holes, you've got 20 steaming streams of light. And if we thought of the light as consciousness, and then the holes as the body-mind, everybody has this certain personal light that is shining through them. And they believe it's theirs, and belongs to them and is part of them. But when they begin to follow that light back, at some point it gets sucked into the hole, and it stops even being light, because it's got no definition anymore. In fact, it is all. So the light is no longer, you could say the consciousness is no longer consciousness, it goes back into itself and it is all, it is the whole. But these are like really super complex ideas, and in the end, you have to keep going back to who is asking the question. Who is it that wants to know? Who are you right now? Who is it that's alive?